Are you doing keyword research right? There are so many people that are doing it way wrong. Even people that have watched my videos or learned about my leaf strategy, when I watch over their shoulder, they're still not doing it right. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to do it right. How I'm going to help you do keyword research right is I'm going to help you get into my head. So I'm going to talk about the 3 priorities that I have with filming, and then I'm going to talk about 7 different reasons why we do keyword research the way that we do. And when you understand the whys, then when you're doing the how, you get the right results, okay? Okay, so let's talk about priorities first. We have 3 priorities in the type of videos we make for YouTube. Priority number 1 is strategy. Okay, so that's why the keyword research, that's such a big part of the strategy. We want to make sure that we're doing it right. Okay, and if we do it right, we use the keyword magic tool that I talk so much about. It allows us to be efficient. We can film 20 episodes in a day, and there's a lot that goes into efficiency. Production quality is what we get a lot of questions about, like, does it matter what camera I use? Or, you know, the lighting matters, the audio matters. It's a priority. But it's priority number 3 underneath efficiency and strategy. Again, this whole strategy is about lead generation for your channel and generating $10,000 from only 100 views. If you want those results, you've got to follow priorities in this way. So we're talking about strategy in this episode. Okay, so with those priorities in mind and strategy being the number 1 priority, let's talk about this leaf strategy. And more specific is better, okay? So typically the more words you have in a phrase, that makes it more specific, but that's not always the case. Just by adding in extra words, sometimes there are exceptions. And so if you do keyword research, you find a phrase that's, say, 9 words long, the real reason behind having many words is you want to make sure it's more specific. So examples that I've shared are what can increase productivity in a dental office. Like, whoa, those words make it super specific. You know exactly who you're talking to. In a dental office, those 4 extra words make it so specific that you know that you're talking to the dentist, to the receptionist, to the hygienist, to the dental assistants, right? You're talking to this dental team and you're talking about increasing productivity in their situation. So that's a huge principle to understand is you're doing this keyword research and you're looking at all these different options to know if you're doing it right. Does adding the more words, does it make it more specific? One more example I found in the same search, how to improve productivity on a construction site. So we're talking about improving productivity, and that's still pretty general. But then when you say on a construction site, I love how specific that is. And if you make a video on that topic, it will succeed. Okay, so the second principle relates to the first, and that's that specific audiences is better. Okay, so when we have our goal of lead generation from our videos, let's take a look at this whole scenario. Okay, so somebody goes to Google and YouTube and they type in this question and your video pops up. It's exactly what they were searching for and it's really, really specific. Those people are gonna watch the video all the way to the end. So it's not just a video on increasing productivity that may or may not apply to their specific situation, but because it's so specific, the people are more likely to watch the whole video and are more likely to become leads and customers of yours. Okay, another principle is that we're looking for unique topics. If you do a search for a topic on YouTube, you'll find a lot of videos that have catchy titles, and sometimes they put keyword phrases in their titles, but they're typically only 2 or 3 words long. And so if you make a title and you're going after that same 2 or 3 word phrase, they're not very unique. But when you go after a phrase that's 8 or 9 or 10 words long, typically your video is the only one with that unique title. And so it allows you to stand out from your competition. In fact, it eliminates the competition for those specific searches. You're number 1 on YouTube. Okay, principle number 4, I need to explain a little bit because it might sound weird that you make boring topics exciting, okay? How does that relate to keyword research? Well, a lot of times when you look through the list of leaf titles, you might see one and just think, I just don't want to talk about that, or that's not the right question. Well, that's the thing is a lot of times people don't know the right question to ask, and they're asking the wrong question, or they're just asking something boring that you don't want to talk about. But you can make it exciting and make it exciting for you so you're excited to film this video because that's the question that they're asking. And another tie-in here is what if the question that they're asking, it really only takes 1 minute to answer? Like what do you do with these? So 1, don't discount a title, okay? If you do the keyword research and you find these leaf titles, even if it's boring or even if they're answering the wrong question, let's talk about the boring one first. You can actually pick something boring and then something exciting and put them both in the same episode. And then when you give the intro, you say, hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about this. You list that boring thing, and we're talking about this. So let's dive right in. It's a real easy way to get that search traffic, to get that target audience. Both things are going to be related, right? You pick them intentionally that way, but now you're a lot more excited to talk about it. Now, if you do keyword research and you find a question that's kind of the wrong question, or you have a different take on it because of your experience, you can actually lead in that way, and that's what's going to differentiate you from other people on YouTube. You know what? I'm going to give you an example, and I'm just going to make one up, but let's say it's a misconception. Let's say there's a myth out there that if you take too much vitamin C, you're going to go bald, okay? But if that's not true and you're teaching about vitamin C, for example, you might say, welcome back. Today we're talking about how taking too much vitamin C can make you go bald. Is that really true? And how much vitamin C should you be taking to have optimal health? All right, so let's dive right in. So maybe that's not true, and I dive right into it in the beginning of the content. I might say, you know what, it's actually not true. The more vitamin C you take, the healthier your hair will be. Right? So I just totally made that up, but that's a way that you might navigate around topics like that. The next principle in my notes, I kind of gave it a title, willing to cover topics that others won't. So that kind of relates to what we've been talking about, whether it's boring or something, but just think about it from that perspective. If you're willing to cover a topic that others won't, and you'll find lots of topics like this is your unique audience. This is your opportunity to bring in people who've never heard of you before, and now you're the expert. These are phrases that have consistent search volume every month. So yeah, you want to go after these ones. Okay, so I've got two more principles, and these are pretty important and ones that people typically just ignore. They've learned from me, and then when they go and do keyword research and they pick their leaf titles, they kind of ignore these two principles. The first one is I want you to avoid search terms with super high search volume. And I'll just say high search volume. When you get started, you want to pick phrases that have between 10 and 100 searches per month. If a phrase has 600 searches per month, wouldn't that be better? Okay, if you got 600 searches per month and it found your video, yeah, that would be better. But a lot of people have these keyword tools, and phrases that have higher search volume are more competitive. And in the beginning, we just don't want any competition. Let's have every episode that we put out rank instantly. Like day one is typically when your videos will rank. But if you go after a phrase that has higher search volume, you're just inviting more and more competition. Now, after several months of following this strategy, you will start to rank for more and more phrases, and you'll have the opportunity to go after some of these more competitive ones and rank at that point. So it's not forever, it's just in the beginning, go after phrases between 10 and 100. So the principle is actually avoid or just postpone till later these phrases that have high search volume. And what I'm calling high is above 100, anything above 100. And the last principle is to avoid competition. That kind of is a good summary for the why behind all of these principles. There are millions of new episodes being uploaded to YouTube every single day, and we want you to stand out. We want yours to rise to the top. So as you're doing keyword research, just think, does this title help me avoid competition? I mean, you can take these phrases, copy and paste it into the YouTube search bar, and see if there are other videos that have that exact title. Typically, with the previous principle of search volume, if there's a video that has 1,000 searches per month, typically if you copy and paste that phrase into YouTube, you're going to find another video with that exact title or very similar title. If you follow all the other tips that I teach, typically you don't have any competition, and that's the goal. We want to go super specific. We want to avoid all competition. So how do I know all this stuff about YouTube? Well, I actually know a lot more. I've written a book on how to leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business, and I want to give this to you for free. I've put 2 years into putting all my strategy into this book. I'm known as the guy that can help you generate $10,000 from only 100 views, whereas all other YouTube experts, they teach you how to generate millions of views to make $10,000. So if you want to learn how to leverage YouTube in that way, go to natesyoutubebook.com. Now what you'll find there, I expect you to cover the costs. So the cost to print this full color book and the cost to ship, but no profit to me. That's my gift to you.